Picture this. A man sleeping in his car, showering at gas stations and barely scraping by. Fast forward a few years and that same man is now a multimillionaire inspiring millions worldwide. This isn't a fairy tale, it's the real-life story of Steve Harvey. Welcome friends. Today we're diving deep into the transformative power of faith and perseverance, guided by the wisdom of one of America's most beloved personalities. Steve Harvey's journey from homelessness to Hollywood success is more than just a rags-to-riches tale. It's a testament to the power of aligning oneself with biblical principles of abundance. Did you know that studies have shown a strong correlation between spiritual practices and financial well-being? A survey by the Pew Research Center found that 62% of Americans who attend religious services weekly report being very satisfied with their personal financial situation, compared to just 36% of those who never attend. But here's the million-dollar question. Why do some people seem to be anointed with success while others struggle? As Steve Harvey would say, you have not because you ask not. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of what we're about to explore. Today we're unlocking Steve Harvey's 5 biblical secrets to abundance and prosperity. These aren't just feel-good platitudes. They're time-tested principles that have the power to revolutionize your life, just as they did for Steve and countless others. So, are you ready to embark on a journey that could transform your financial destiny and align you with God's plan for abundance? Buckle up because we're about to dive into a river of wisdom that could change the course of your life forever. Have you ever felt like you're running on a financial treadmill, always moving but never getting ahead? You're not alone. In this chapter, we're going to dive deep into the game-changing concept of the abundance mindset, a powerful tool that Steve Harvey credits as a cornerstone of his success. Let's start by identifying some common financial struggles. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, or feeling like your dreams are always just out of reach. These challenges can be overwhelming, but here's the kicker. Your mindset plays a crucial role in overcoming them. Steve Harvey once said, "Failure is a great teacher." And I think when you make mistakes and you recover from them and you treat them as valuable learning experiences, then you've got something to share. This quote encapsulates the essence of the abundance mindset. It's not about never failing. It's about seeing opportunities in every situation. Now let's explore the scarcity mindset and its negative effects. When you're constantly focused on what you lack, you miss out on the abundance that surrounds you. It's like wearing blinders that only let you see the empty parts of your glass. This mindset can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. It can strain relationships as you become overly protective of your resources, and it can stifle your creativity and willingness to take risks. But here's the good news. You can shift your mindset. The abundance mindset is about recognizing that there are enough resources, opportunities, and success to go around. It's about believing in your ability to create, attract, and multiply wealth. Let's do a quick self-assessment exercise. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being extreme scarcity and 10 being abundant positivity, where do you fall in your current thinking about money and success? Take a moment to reflect on this. Now here's a question to ponder. How might your life change if you approached each day with the belief that abundance is available to you? Imagine waking up every morning not worried about what you lack, but excited about the opportunities waiting for you. Steve Harvey's journey is a testament to the power of this mindset shift. He went from being homeless to becoming a multimillionaire, not just because of his talent, but because he refused to let his circumstances define his potential. As we wrap up this chapter, I want you to start practicing abundance thinking. Tonight, before you go to bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for in your financial life. Could be as simple as having a roof over your head or the ability to buy your favorite coffee. This practice will start training your brain to focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Remember, the abundance mindset isn't about ignoring real financial challenges. It's about approaching those challenges with a belief in your ability to overcome them and in the endless possibilities that exist in the world. In our next chapter, we'll explore how Steve Harvey applied this mindset to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. But for now, I want you to marinate in this idea of abundance. Let it seep into your thoughts, your conversations, and your actions. You might be surprised at how quickly things start to shift. Are you ready to embrace the abundance mindset? Let's continue this journey together as we unlock more of Steve Harvey's biblical secrets to prosperity. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your car isn't just your mode of transportation, it's your home. This was the harsh reality Steve Harvey faced during the lowest point of his life. But today we're not just talking about a story of rags to riches. We're diving into a powerful lesson on how to transform scarcity into abundance. Let's start by exploring the emotional and spiritual consequences of financial scarcity. When you're constantly worried about making ends meet, it's not just your bank account that suffers. Your mental health takes a hit, relationships strain under the pressure, and your faith can be severely tested. Studies have shown that financial stress is a leading cause of anxiety and depression, affecting millions of people worldwide. Now, let's use the contrast technique to highlight Steve Harvey's journey. Picture this. On one side, we have Steve sleeping in his car, showering at gas stations, and scraping together coins for his next meal. On the other, we see the Steve Harvey we know today, a successful TV host, best-selling author, and philanthropist. The difference is stark, but the path between these 2 points is where the real magic lies. How does a lack of prosperity affect relationships and faith? When you're struggling financially, it's easy to become irritable, distant, or even resentful towards loved ones. You might find yourself questioning your worth or wondering why your prayers seem to go unanswered. Steve Harvey himself has spoken about moments of doubt during his hardest times, questioning if he was on the right path. But here's where Steve's story takes a turn that can inspire us all. Instead of letting his circumstances define him, he chose to see his rock bottom as a foundation for growth. In his own words, "Your setback is just a setup for your comeback." This mindset shift was crucial in his journey from homelessness to success. Let's break down Steve Harvey's journey using the hero's journey structure. 1. The call to adventure. Steve's dream of becoming a comedian. 2. Refusal of the call. Initial hesitation and fear of leaving a stable job. 3. Crossing the threshold. Taking the leap into comedy full-time. 4. Tests, allies, enemies. Facing homelessness, making connections in the industry. 5. Approach to the inmost cave. The darkest moments of doubt and struggle. 6. Ordeal. Persevering through failure and rejection. 7. Reward. First big break in comedy. 8. The road back. Building on initial success, facing new challenges. 9. Resurrection. Becoming not just a comedian, but a multifaceted entertainer and businessman. 10. Return with elixir. Using his success to inspire and help others. This journey wasn't just about financial success. It was a spiritual and emotional transformation. Steve often credits his faith for giving him the strength to persevere when things seemed hopeless. Now it's time for a practical exercise. Take a moment to identify your personal rock bottom. It doesn't have to be as dramatic as homelessness. It could be a job loss, a failed business, or a mountain of debt. Write it down. Now, channeling Steve Harvey's resilience, write down 3 potential opportunities or lessons that could come from this low point. Remember, sometimes your greatest struggles can become your greatest strengths. As we wrap up this chapter, let's reflect on a powerful quote from Steve Harvey. God's plan for you is always bigger than your plan for yourself. This encapsulates the journey from scarcity to abundance. It's about having faith in a bigger picture even when you can't see it yet. In our next chapter, we'll delve into the specific biblical principles that Steve Harvey used to guide his journey to prosperity. But before we do, I want you to carry this thought with you. No matter where you are right now, you have the power to rewrite your story. Your current circumstances don't define your future. Your mindset and actions do. Are you enjoying the video so far? Don't forget to hit that like button. Now ask yourself, what's the first step you can take today to start your journey from scarcity to abundance? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insight might be just what someone else needs to hear to start their own transformation. What if I told you that the secret to unlocking abundance has been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years? In this chapter, we're going to dive deep into the biblical principles of prosperity that Steve Harvey credits for his incredible journey from homelessness to Hollywood stardom. But before we unpack these powerful principles, let's address the elephant in the room. The difference between biblical prosperity and mere material greed. Biblical prosperity isn't about hoarding wealth or living in excess. It's about living a life of purpose, abundance, and generosity that allows you to be a blessing to others. As Steve Harvey often says, God's plan for you is always bigger than your plan for yourself. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of biblical prosperity. It's not just about personal gain, but about aligning yourself with a higher purpose. Now, let's explore the 5 biblical principles of prosperity that Steve Harvey has incorporated into his life and teachings. 1. The principle of sowing and reaping. Biblical reference. Galatians 6 verse 7, "Do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Steve Harvey's take. You can't expect to reap blessings if you're sowing negativity and laziness. Practical application. Start each day by sowing positive actions. This could be as simple as expressing gratitude, helping a colleague, or putting in extra effort in your work. 2. The power of faith and positive declarations. Biblical reference. Mark 11 verse 24, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." Steve Harvey's take. Your words have power. Speak life into your dreams. Practical application. Create a daily affirmation based on your goals. Repeat it with conviction every morning and evening. 3. The importance of diligent stewardship. Biblical reference. Proverbs 10 verse 4, "Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth." Steve Harvey's take. God can give you a vision, but you've got to have the courage to execute it. Practical application. Identify one area in your life where you can improve your stewardship. Could be your finances, your time, or your talents. 4. The blessing of generosity. Biblical reference. Proverbs 11 verse 25, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." Steve Harvey's take. The more you give, the more you receive. It's not just a saying, it's a spiritual law. Practical application. Look for an opportunity to be unexpectedly generous this week, whether with your time, resources, or encouragement. 5. The power of patience and perseverance. Biblical reference. James 1 verse 12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Steve Harvey's take. Success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You've got to be willing to fail, get back up, and keep moving forward. Practical application. Set a long-term goal and break it down into small, daily actions. Commit to these actions regardless of immediate results. Now, let's use the 5 whys technique to uncover any limiting beliefs you might have about each principle. 1. Why do you find it challenging to sow positive actions consistently? 2. Why do you hesitate to declare your goals out loud? 3. Why do you struggle with being a diligent steward in certain areas of your life? 4. Why do you sometimes hold back from being generous? 5. Why do you find it difficult to persevere in the face of setbacks? As you answer these questions, you'll likely uncover deep-seated beliefs that may be holding you back from fully embracing these principles. Remember, these principles aren't just theoretical concepts. They're practical tools that Steve Harvey and countless others have used to transform their lives. The key is consistent application. As we conclude this chapter, I want you to choose one of these principles that resonates with you the most. Commit to applying it consistently for the next week. Keep a journal of your experiences and any changes you notice in your mindset or circumstances. In our next chapter, we'll explore real-life success stories of people who have applied these principles. Their journeys will inspire you and provide practical insights on how to overcome obstacles in your own path to prosperity. Are you ready to put these biblical principles into action? Remember, as Steve Harvey often says, your life is already written. If you're willing to grind, your book will already be published. Let's start writing your success story today. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to see biblical principles of prosperity in action? In this chapter, we're going to explore real-life success stories of individuals who have applied Steve Harvey's teachings and experienced remarkable transformations. These stories aren't just inspiring, they're roadmaps for your own journey to abundance. Let's start with the story of a single mother who was struggling to make ends meet. She was working 2 jobs, barely seeing her children, and feeling like she was drowning in debt. After stumbling upon Steve Harvey's teachings, she decided to apply the principle of sowing and reaping to her life. She began by sowing positivity into her workplace relationships, going above and beyond in her tasks, and maintaining a grateful attitude despite her circumstances. Within months, her efforts were noticed. She was offered a promotion at one job, allowing her to quit the second. This gave her more time with her children and the ability to start a small side business based on her passion for baking. By consistently applying the principle of diligent stewardship to her finances and new business, She was able to pay off her debts within 2 years and create a stable, thriving life for her family. Now, let's analyze how each principle contributed to her transformation. 1. Sowing and reaping. By consistently sowing positivity and hard work, she reaped career advancement and new opportunities. 2. Faith and positive declarations. She maintained a positive outlook and spoke life into her dreams, even when circumstances were challenging. 3. Diligent stewardship. She managed her resources wisely, making the most of her promotion and reinvesting in her side business. 4. Generosity. Despite her initial financial struggles, she found ways to give back to her community, which opened up new networks and opportunities. 5. Patience and perseverance. She didn't give up when results weren't immediate, trusting in the process and continuing to apply the principles consistently. Another powerful story is that of a young entrepreneur who was on the brink of bankruptcy. His tech startup had burned through its initial funding, and investors were pulling out left and right. Feeling defeated, he came across Steve Harvey's teachings on YouTube and decided to give them a try as a last resort. He started by applying the principle of faith and positive declarations. Instead of focusing on his company's current struggles, he began to speak life into his vision, confidently sharing it with anyone who would listen. He also applied the principle of diligent stewardship, meticulously reviewing his business model and making necessary adjustments. The turning point came when he decided to be generous with his knowledge, offering free workshops to aspiring entrepreneurs in his community. This act of giving opened doors he never expected. One of the workshop attendees introduced him to a mentor who saw the potential in his business and provided the guidance and connections he needed to turn things around. Within a year, his company had not only avoided bankruptcy but had secured a major client that put them on the path to profitability. Today his company is thriving, and he credits his success to the biblical principles he learned from Steve Harvey. Let's identify the obstacles overcome in each success story. 1. Single mother. Financial struggle, time scarcity, work-life balance. 2. Young entrepreneur. Financial crisis, lack of guidance, fear of failure. Now here's a powerful quote from Steve Harvey that encapsulates these journeys. Your reality is yours. Stop wasting time looking at someone else's reality while doing nothing about yours. This quote reminds us that while these success stories are inspiring, the real magic happens when you apply these principles to your own life. So here's a question for reflection. How can you apply these lessons to overcome the obstacles in your own life? What principle resonates most with your current situation? Remember, these individuals weren't special or extraordinarily gifted. They were ordinary people who decided to apply extraordinary principles consistently. Their stories show us that biblical prosperity isn't just a concept. It's a practical, actionable path to abundance. As we wrap up this chapter, I want you to take a moment to identify one area in your life where you can start applying these principles today. It could be in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth. Write it down and commit to taking one small action in that direction before the day is over. In our next chapter, we'll dive into creating your personal action plan for abundance, inspired by Steve Harvey's methods. But for now, let these success stories fuel your motivation and remind you that your own story of transformation is waiting to be written. Are you ready to be the next success story? Let's keep this journey going and unlock the abundance that's waiting for you. Are you ready to turn inspiration into action? Welcome to the final chapter of our journey, where we'll transform the wisdom of Steve Harvey and biblical principles into a concrete plan for your success. This isn't just another motivational speech. It's your personal roadmap to abundance. Let's kick things off with a powerful quote from Steve Harvey. You have to jump. Every successful person has jumped. This encapsulates the essence of what we're about to explore, taking that leap of faith towards your dreams. Now let's dive into the Steve Harvey-inspired action plan. 1. Define your vision. Start by clearly articulating your goals. What does abundance look like for you? Is it financial freedom, a thriving business, or a life of purpose and impact? Write it down in vivid detail. 2. Align with biblical principles. Review the 5 biblical principles we discussed earlier. How can you incorporate each one into your daily life? For example, how will you practice generosity or demonstrate faith in your actions? 3. Create a daily routine. Steve Harvey attributes much of his success to consistent habits. Develop a morning routine that sets you up for success. This might include prayer, affirmations, reading scripture, or visualizing your goals. 4. Take massive action. Harvey often speaks about the importance of massive action. Identify 3 bold moves you can make in the next month to propel you towards your goals. Remember, these should stretch you beyond your comfort zone. 5. Build your support system. Surround yourself with positive, like-minded individuals. Consider joining a faith-based community or finding a mentor who embodies the success you aspire to achieve. Now, let's address some common obstacles you might face on your journey to abundance. 1. Fear of failure. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Use the 5 whys technique to dig deep into your fear and develop strategies to overcome it. 2. Lack of resources. Get creative. How can you leverage what you already have? Steve Harvey started with nothing but his talent and determination. 3. Negative self-talk. Develop a practice of positive affirmations. Replace "I can't" with "how can I?" 4. Inconsistency. Create accountability for yourself. Share your goals with a trusted friend or use a habit tracking app. 5. Impatience. Remember, overnight success is a myth. Focus on small, consistent steps forward. To help you overcome these obstacles, here are some of Steve Harvey's strategies for resilience and perseverance. 1. Visualize success. Spend time each day imagining yourself living your dream life in vivid detail. 2. Practice gratitude. Start and end each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. 3. Learn from setbacks. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what's the lesson here? 4. Stay committed to growth. Invest in personal development. Read books, attend seminars, listen to podcasts. 5. Serve others. Find ways to use your talents to help others. This often leads to unexpected opportunities. Now, let's create your personal commitment contract. Take a moment to write down 1. Your top 3 goals for the next year. 2. 3 actions you'll take each week to move towards these goals. 3. How you'll incorporate each of the 5 biblical principles into your journey. 4. A list of potential obstacles and your strategy for overcoming each one. 5. Your why, the deep-seated reason that drives you towards abundance. Sign and date this contract as a symbol of your commitment to this journey. Remember, as Steve Harvey says, your reality is yours. Stop wasting time looking at someone else's reality while doing nothing about yours. This is your moment to take control of your destiny. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick exercise. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 1 year from now having faithfully applied these principles. How do you feel? What has changed in your life? Hold on to that vision, it's closer than you think. In our next and final segment, we'll recap our entire journey and send you off with a challenge that could change your life. Are you ready to take that leap of faith? Your abundance awaits. As we reach the end of this transformative journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the powerful insights we've uncovered together. We've explored Steve Harvey's biblical secrets to attracting abundance and prosperity, and now it's time to put these principles into action. Let's quickly recap the key points from each chapter. 1. The power of abundance mentality. We learned how shifting our mindset from scarcity to abundance can open doors we never knew existed. 2. Overcoming scarcity. Steve Harvey's personal journey showed us that rock bottom can be the foundation for incredible success. 3. The 5 biblical principles of prosperity. We discovered how ancient wisdom can be applied to modern-day challenges for remarkable results. 4. Success stories. We saw real-life examples of people who transformed their lives by applying these principles. 5. Your action plan. We created a personalized roadmap to guide you towards your own abundance. Remember, as Steve Harvey often says, your life is already written. If you're willing to grind, your book will already be published. This powerful statement reminds us that our potential for success is already within us. We just need to take action to unlock it. Now it's time for you to take the next step. I want to challenge you to implement these principles for the next 30 days. Start with small, consistent actions. Maybe it's daily gratitude practice, or taking one bold step towards your goals each week. Whatever you choose, commit to it fully. Here's a final inspirational quote from Steve Harvey to fuel your journey. God's plan for you is always bigger than your plan for yourself. Keep this in mind as you face challenges and celebrate victories along the way. As you embark on this 30-day challenge, remember that you're not alone. Share your experiences, victories, and even setbacks in the comments below. Your story could be the inspiration someone else needs to start their own journey to abundance. Before we part ways, I want you to close your eyes and visualize the abundant life you're stepping into. Feel the joy, the fulfillment, the sense of purpose. That vision isn't just a dream. It's a preview of what's to come when you apply these principles consistently. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. Remember, your abundance awaits. It's time to claim it. Let's make Steve Harvey proud and show the world what faith-driven success looks like. Now go out there and make it happen. Your abundant life starts today. Hey, incredible growth seekers. Wow, what a journey. If this video resonated, subscribe now for more life-changing content. Join our community of self-improvers. Smash that like button to fuel more content on mindfulness, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. Share this video to create a ripple of positive change. Comment below about your growth journey. Your insights shape our content. Next week, boosting self-confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs. Don't miss it. Every interaction brings us closer to a world of empowered individuals. Let's make personal development global. Stay inspired, keep growing. Your best self awaits. Let's unlock it together.